Myles Garret has requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns.
Bring him home.
Myles Garret released a statement.
Is he a fit?
313.
Right.
Myles Garret has released a statement. I'll read it. As a kid dreaming of the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl. That goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and this incredible fan base of the Cleveland Browns has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life.
Bring him home.
These past 8 years have shaped me into the man I am today. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been to compete and to win a Super Bowl. With that in mind, I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, my God, dude.
Show is hijacked.
Bring him home.
Here we go.
29 years old. Maybe you can look in a different direction. Neal, I don't know about you. I was telling Spenny, I think I did no less than 350 of the mock draft simulators, and I kind of found out that you can wait on the edge because there's the plethora of edges early. Maybe get your DL in the first round. I got a couple names out there. Now maybe you can look in a different direction if you want to get involved in the Myles Garret established type of situation. Absolutely, positively, dude would be a massive fit here. Make no mistake about it. We're playing the bit of is he a fit? Absolutely, positively, dude would be a massive fit here.
He would be 29 at opening day next year, opening kickoff, moving into 30. Was born December 29th, 1995. So right away, I go to Spot Track because that's how I operate. He's got a cap hit of $19.7 million next year, $20.3 million the following year, his age 31 season. He becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2027. There's some void money on the back end, and I'm not familiar with the structure. Signing bonus was $21 million. So I would imagine that's probably a large chunk of that and deferred money that I'm sure that the Browns already paid. So that's what it is. The money lines up.
How would you even pull this move off if you're Brad Holmes? Like, because he said that in order to get Zeal was one of the harder trades he's ever had to make. Pretty much had to finagle them down from a third-round pick to a fifth. What would a Myles Garret require?
Whatever it takes.
Would Brad Holmes do that though? He's not one for selling the whole farm.
Are we getting close to the point though? And I want to ask this seriously. Are we getting close to the point where you take the chips and you just go like this?
Yes.
I think so, but we've never seen Brad Holmes do something like that.
That's why I bring the question up. He hasn't been in a spot like this before.
Yes.
True. That is,
and that's what's different. And you guys know me.
That is.
I'm Team Draft Capital. I'm Captain Draft Capital. Look at the roster. What do they all have in common? Every single good player you have right now, how'd they get here?
Brad Holmes.
Brad Holmes drafted them. And Spenny, this backs right up to the point that you and I talked about where we laughed and mocked and scorned other shows, even on this network, and the people associated with them. This is to the point now where you are not going to add more pieces, more starters, more stars.
Yeah.
You're not doing it through the draft anymore.
No, I'm with you. Let's look at the Rams. I mean, what helped the Detroit Lions get to the point that they're at right now? All right, honestly, and I will say this until my dying breath. The Lions-Rams was a win-win deal, okay? But ultimately, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. The Rams won the Super Bowl. We're happy with what we got. We're happy with the draft picks. We're obviously happy with Jared Goff, but the Rams won the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, I can't put my Larry Bird finger up just yet because the Rams won a Super Bowl. Now, we revisit that. If the Lions win a Super Bowl, okay, with those pieces we got from the Rams, then that's it. Mm-hmm. That's when we can really, truly, officially go like this.
Yeah.
I'm at that point, too. Honestly, and I'm not desperation, but Neal, you said it perfectly. Draft capital. Okay, what good is draft capital if we have a core that's good enough to legitimately go and win a Super Bowl? Yeah. What good is draft capital at that point in time? I'm sorry.
It's not that great, and then I'm glad you brought up the Rams because that's also a great example of there is life after them picks. because when you look at what the Rams did, the fact that they've been able to be in the last 2 playoffs, considering, once they traded everything and got that Super Bowl, they were supposed to be in the gutter. And they still managed to come out here, have good drafts, and still be competitive. That's what the Lions can look like with Brad Holmes at the helm. You can't say F them picks to a certain degree, but also still have success after that. I'm interested to see if he would actually do something like that.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there, everybody. The show has been hijacked. Absolutely. Myles Garret has announced that he's officially requested a trade. The people are worked up right now. Jump into that super chat if you want to skip the line. Mikhail Dunlap, good morning, gentlemen. Curious question. Who are the biggest terrorists in Detroit sports? Monty Williams, Matt Patricia, or Derek Lalone?
Shit.
I'm going Monty Williams.
Matt EP.
Matt Patricia.
Yeah,
just because I know the people that he came in and gassed without a second thought. And
Matt Patricia. Yeah.
There was a man that he walked in and gassed that Calvin Johnson said, please come to my Hall of Fame induction.
Yep.
Period. End of story for me. And I'll leave it at that.
He had people. Monty Williams had people saying trade Kate Cunningham.
That's on the people though too.
That is on the people.
That first practice, and Neal, I apologize. I don't know if you were there.
I was not.
You knew 10 minutes in. I have no other way to say that. You just, there were things happening at that first practice that it was.
Maddie,
I'll write a book one day. I swear to God. Like when I'm done, and I have no more bleeps to give, I'm writing a book, man. 'Cause some of the shit, unbelievable. But it was, Here's the problem. Can I, Spenny? I want to do this again. Who's the real villain? Is it Monty Williams, who basically told you, I don't want to coach?
Yeah.
Twice.
I don't know. You guys, I don't think you get this. I don't want to coach. No, Monty, really, we're going to give you so much money, you're never going to have to do anything again.
Bet.
Right? I mean, in a twisted way, is he still a villain? Of course he is. But in a twisted way, don't we have to sit back and go, is he really to blame for that?
And Tom fixed it with the stroke of a pen. Tom Gores fixed it.
Yeah.
Like that, it was fixed. You know, like how Javi could be fixed?
Right.
Like that?
He didn't let it linger over multiple seasons.
That's it. He fixed the glitch. I fixed the glitch. So that was it. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there. Get your thoughts in there. Matt K754, you're really going to talk about this instead of the Wings and Pistons? Yeah, we are. And Matt, let me sweeten the pot a little more for you. Spot Track just tweeted out all of Myles Garret money that you assume is non-guaranteed.
I always like to remind people as well, it's 11:11, and there is an hour and 49 minutes left in the show.
Right?
We're probably going to get to the Wings and Pistons as well, but this just kind of broke. But just FYI.
The Browns will take on a dead cap hit of $36.2 million when they trade him. Oh, so you have to. They have to be compensated for that.
Yeah.
They have to be compensated for that. And how are you compensated for dead cap, Spenny? How do you replace dead cap? Rookie contracts.
Yeah.
So, here we go, guys.
Aren't the Browns another one of those cautionary tales that we talk about all the time?
100%, and they did it to themselves.
It's
every
amazing.
single time.
It's like a few years ago, I remember, they beat the Steelers in the playoff. And I remember sitting from afar going, man, how cool would that be? They just annihilated their tormentor in the playoffs.
And beat the piss out of them.
Right? And I remember thinking to myself, that would be like beating the Bears, for me, the Bears, for a lot of other people, the Packers in the playoff. How cool would that be? And it was onward and upward for the Cleveland Browns. And in such a short amount of time, they are just a disaster again.
Yeah. Should let the man have the massages, man.
Right?
Woodward Sports chat thread. You know what? I'll save this one for Mom Salty. I'll wet your whistle, and we'll talk about it when we come back. Oh, by the way, speaking of that Bears win, the draft where the Browns drafted Johnny Football, I bet my buddy Terminal Dennis $20. I said the Browns will win a playoff game before the Lions. And he was like, oh, yeah, no doubt. Almost a decade later, he finally had to pay me. But, that tells you all you need to know.
Right.
It only took a decade for that bet to pay out.
Hey, remember that bet?
Yeah. I'll give you the text here in the chat thread from I'm Salty, and then we'll go to the break. Spenny will tell you about Sabbath Coffee. I'm salty. You can't have Hutch and Garrett and pay Goff $55 million. False. I'll give you the road when we come back. Look, guys, it's pretty simple. Adam Schefter just broke the news. Myles Garret has requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, that steps in front of everything. It absolutely does. Especially given the events of this weekend in the NBA, nobody is untouchable.
That is a fact.
Nobody is untouchable. So we got to get down into it because a lot of the stations that you might listen to are not going to be able to talk about it to the depth we are because we know WTF we're talking about. Period. End of story. So getting back to this, I'm salty and Sean, we'll skip the platitudes and everything like that. How was your weekend and all that shit? We're into this now, Sean. So with that being said, and here they come, Steve Wildes. I say a 2026 first, a second this year, and J-Mo and Hooker.
Y'all gonna stop trying to trade J-Mo, man.
Okay, Steve. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Sport Track projects 4 years, 137. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah,
4
that
years,
is a projected extension for Myles Garret. 4 years at 137. Here's the deal, guys. The Browns are taking a $36 million dead cap hit with them when they trade him. They're not doing that for free. They're not good guys. They already have Deshaun Watson on their books. Like, it's as dire as it'll get. And we saw it already with what they did with Zadarius Smith. The writing was on the wall. They had to reboot this thing, and they're going to. And the way you do that, Sean, this is what they're going to want. They want draft capital
100%.
For a multitude of reasons. Number one, they need a quarterback. Mm-hmm. That's first and foremost. Right. And they have one that's a $90 million dead cap hit right now. That's guaranteed that they can't do anything with. So number one, they want a quarterback. Number two, even if there's not a quarterback they like in this draft, which by all reports, Sean, there's not many of them that people like, then they need to be locked and loaded to be able to move when the opportunity presents itself to do it.
Can I selfishly say if we make a deal with Cleveland, can they throw in Jameis Winston? Just for me.
Sign and trade.
Well, for you as well.
And for America.
Yeah, for America. It would be. No, you know, here's the crazy thing, Neal. While we are having these conversations, and rightfully so, there are so many teams around the National Football League and shows like this. Well, not as good as this, but so many people are having the same conversation about their team. And you know who's smiling like the butcher's dog right now? Is the Cleveland Browns. There is going to be an immense bidding war to this. And we better come to grips right now that we're going to have to pay out of our arse.
The bottom line,
come to
Sean,
grips with it.
You know what? That is the last stupid trade proposal I'm reading, by the way. Because if you guys want to do this, I'm only reading ones that have like the possibility of being accepted now. Do you understand what is going on here? Do you understand who is available? And do you understand the situation the team trading him is in? Because you need to think of it from all sides. You're not getting Myles Garret for Lindsey Hunter and Terry Mills.
No.
It's not happening, guys.
Danino and Draper?
We'll talk.
All right.
We'll talk. So, yeah, dude, everybody. Woodward Sports chat thread. Dante151 with the super chat. The greatest tradition of Red Wings hockey is someone throwing an octopus on the ice during the stoppage of play. And you people, stop with trying to trade and letting J-Mo walk. That's not going to happen. J-Mo's immensely valuable to this team right now, especially in this space. He's even more valuable if you're looking to make a trade for a Myles Garret. He's immovable in this scenario. Think for a second, guys. Think.
I don't get it. I don't. Is there still like an anti-JMO? Yes. Is there really?
Yes.
Yes. Sean, I'm never going to save those people, so I don't care.
Huh.
And that's fine. You can think what you want about them. But think about the situation they're in right now. Do you think somebody like J-Mo is even more of a premium right now on the Lions if you were to bring somebody like Myles Garret in? Why would that be, Sean? Why would that be?
I don't know how anybody could be right now. I know I'm going into water that I shouldn't be wading into, but so I guess I'll ask you, Spenny, because you and Fed, why is there an anti-JMO thing at this point? Based on what?
I don't know. They wanted him to show it. He showed it, and now they're looking for something else.
KG, any thoughts?
Yeah, there's a sector of fans that hate J-Mo, and we know why.
And I didn't even want it to be this. Like, I don't want to be the hate, because we know that, KG. Like, that's old news. There is a certain segment, and I'm sure there are factors attached to it as to why.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are. But anyway, we move on from that. The bottom line is, like, people need to think for a second and say, man, could we use a 1,000-yard wide receiver that gets a touchdown every 8 to 9 times he touches the ball for $5 million if we want to bring on Myles Garret and try to win a Super Bowl? Stop being stupid.
Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking to. Because the dumb shit angers me.
It's draft capital. I mean, the funny thing is, we are a shining example of this. Like, what started our turnaround? Sure, we applaud Dan Campbell and we throw the word culture out there left and right. Sure, we have to applaud Brad Holmes, but why do we have to applaud Brad Holmes? Because he made a move that started all this. He brought in a quarterback that was resurrected. Let's be honest, okay? Let's acknowledge that first and foremost. And those picks. That's how you turn it around. And if you're the Cleveland Browns, this is rebuild attempt 238. We've also lived that life. It's going to be draft capital, guys. It is. I mean, that's the way it is. Might there be a body here or there and there? Of course. But you're not talking about anything spectacular because, again, if it's something spectacular, well, don't you want to keep spectacular to push those chips in? Neal, it's common sense.
Sean, like, this is it. For real,
100%.
guys, like, I want you to understand the gravity of this. Are you going to talk about this instead of the Wings and Pistons? Yes, because this is it. The moment's here now, everybody. And Spenny, just checking in with you, because mark me on this, ma'am. I said we get this process, and then there comes a line where now it's time to move.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
We're at that point
whatever
now.
It takes.
We've been there organically. We were 17 minutes away or 20 minutes away from the Super Bowl. Coughed it up, lost. Tragic setback this year. Mm-hmm. Now we go.
Yep.
Neal, I couldn't agree. I know a lot of people out there 2 years ago, talking about the 23 season, I know a lot of people out there were very disappointed in Brad Holmes that he didn't make that drastic move to get help on the line. Remember? I mean, you heard it. I heard it. Mm-hmm. We all lived it, okay? That was not the time. Can we all sit back at now 2 years later and go, yeah, you're probably right. This is the time. Mm-hmm. Now it's time to push chips in. Now it's time. And I'm not saying this out of panic that the window's this small. I don't believe that the window's this small. But when you are in this position, and I use the Cleveland Browns as an example, I use the Buffalo Bills as an example, I use the Baltimore Ravens as an example, now you have to do something that pushes you ahead. Okay? We've had really good seasons. And I'm so glad I didn't hear one person deviate from this, okay? That was my greatest fear. Like having flashbacks to the Caldwell era, if I will, okay? Well, it was a really good season. No, it wasn't. Because if we said before the season Super Bowl or bust, I'm not going to let you deviate from it because I'm sure as hell not going to deviate from it. That standard has been set. And moving forward, right? Yeah. Super Bowl or bust, that's it. That is it. What? I mean, fun, yay, hooray, we were the number 1 seed. And we got bounced in the first round. And the Minnesota Vikings, for goodness sake, were making fun of us. No, it's time. Push them in. Let's go.
I mean, that's it, man. Like that is it. Woodward Sports chat thread. Get your thoughts in there. Robert Closio, you're not getting Myles Garret for Anthony Davis. We'll talk about that later. I'm salty. If we didn't trade for Max Crosby, why you think we're going to do this? LOL. For the 188th time, Max Crosby was not available. I'm salty. You can't trade for something that's not available. Hey, Spenny, I want your muffaletta. I don't want to give you my muffaletta. But Spenny, I really want just a regular sandwich. Your muffaletta is really a sandwich. I want to trade you for it. No, Neal, I want to eat my muffaletta. I take a bite out of it. See, Neal, I'm eating my muffaletta. Okay. Why didn't I trade for your muffaletta? Because it wasn't available.
It's fair. Not on the block.
Do you know
How many times we got to... The man said it himself. The Raiders said it themselves.
Right.
Do you know what I do to a muffaletta right now? It would be
Oh, a
unholy.
sandwich?
Oh my gosh, it would be unholy.
Yeah.
You'd have to take the camera off because it would be bad. Those things are muddy.
Thank you, Sean.
I'd make a good deal to you.
Art Vandelay, salty lives in Madden. No, I know. Like, that's... And I'm not putting up with it, dude. There's too much going on right now. Sean, you're laughing because because you've been through this before, and you're seeing me go through it right now, and it's funny to you.
No.
Why? Because you're a dick. That's why.
No, do you know why I'm laughing right now? Because this is a moment that none of us have seen. Like, I'm being serious. None of us have seen that. You say I've seen this. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I'll openly admit it. I haven't seen
No,
this.
you've seen what I'm going through
Oh,
before.
well, that sucks.
Then you're laughing at it.
Well,
that makes you a bad person.
I give you no sympathy, man. None. No, what I'm laughing at is, like, this is the moment, you guys. We're close. Let's go seal the deal. Let's make that move that you wince a little bit when you see what we have to give up. But would you guys all agree? I'm not being funny. And I'm not even necessarily using Myles Garret as an example. We're this close. Do you believe, first and foremost, do you believe that? We're this close. Okay, so to quote Untouchables, what are you prepared to do? Sean Connery's yelling at us right now, screaming at us with that Scottish brogue.
Right.
What are you prepared to do? And that's where we're at. We're going to have to make some tough decisions to pump it over the top. And Myles Garret is one of those tough decisions. We're probably going to have to give up things that we don't want to give up. But the time-honored truth, when you play the game of you be the GM, is reverse what you're saying. Would you make that deal? And that's, nobody wants to do that, Neal, but that's what we're living right now. Give up multiple first-round picks years moving forward. Now, remember, this is the one thing that we had to learn as well. We're not giving up pick 9 in the draft anymore, pick 11 in the draft. We're giving up late in the first round.
We're giving up early second round picks.
But
Yeah.
it still makes you wince, right? It's still, ooh, do I really want to do that? Yes, I do want to do that. Yes, I do.
Now I do. Now I do.
Yes, 100%.
The time is here. Shane Daniel, what about a first, our comp third, one of the upcoming offensive linemen like Manu or Mahogany? All right, Shane?
It's going to be multiple first.
That's like moving J-Mo. Mahogany's going to be a starter on this team. Got to keep him.
Yeah.
And he's a rookie contract starter. Did I do a better job that time?
You did. Good
Okay.
job. You're trying.
So again, but Shane, we're not in the
Shane,
ballpark.
good people. Don't do that.
Yeah.
To him.
Shane, he's good people. I like Shane. Art Vandelay, 2 first-rounders and a second, and here's Hendon Hooker. Art, you're getting warmer, but you're not there yet.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker's another one. A backup quarterback on a rookie contract. See, guys like J-Mo, Mahogany, even Hendon Hooker. Yes, even Hendon Hooker. These are guys, you have to have them to go get Myles Garret. You have to. All right. Shift God. Bring Garrett home. Bring him home.
Bring him home.
That's all we can.